a quiet, sun-kissed village nestled between emerald rice fields and winding rivers, lived an old farmer named Dama and his faithful ox, Nandi. Nandi was no ordinary beast. He had worked beside the farmer for many years, tilling soil under the scorching sun, pulling heavy carts through mud-soaked roads, and helping harvest crops season after season. His strength was unmatched, but it was his loyalty, his steady eyes, and his silent presence that truly made him special. The villagers knew of their bond. Some even said the ox could understand the farmer's thoughts before he spoke. One golden morning, Dama decided to visit the weekly market in the nearby town. He brushed down Nandi, polished the harness, and gently tied him to the wooden cart. As they set off down the dusty road, birds flew overhead, and the sun cast long shadows on the path behind them. The market was a loud, colorful place. Stalls burst with spices, cloth, baskets of fruit, and the laughter of children weaving through crowds. Merchants hollered about the freshness of their wares. Drummers played rhythms in the corner, and animals stood tethered, waiting for buyers. As Dama parked his cart and began unloading bundles of produce, a group of wealthy merchants nearby eyed Nandi with amused expressions. One of them, a tall man with a silk turban and a curled mustache, smirked and said,
Well, well, though. Look at this wrinkled old farmer with his wrinkled old ox.
Another laughed.
Does it still walk, or do you carry it on your back now?
Their voices were loud enough for everyone to hear, and laughter erupted from the surrounding stalls. Dama's cheeks flushed. He knew Nandi was old, but weak, useless, never. With puffed chest and a rising voice, he turned to them.
My ox is stronger than any animal in this market,
He declared.
If you don't believe me, put it to the test.
The merchants, enjoying the game, eagerly agreed.
Fine.
The turbaned one said.
Let's load that cart over there with stone. The same stones we use to build our houses. Let's see if your ox can budge it an inch.
Dama nodded. The crowd gathered. Stone by stone, men filled the wooden cart until it groaned under the weight. Dust rose into the air as the last slab was tossed on top. Then, Dama took the reins and shouted.
Nandi, pull.
But the ox did nothing.
Pull, Nandi, come on, pull.
He cried again, his voice cracking, but Nandi stood motionless. His eyes stared forward, calm, unblinking. He didn't even flinch. The crowd roared with laughter.
Perhaps he's asleep.
One shouted.
Or maybe he's waiting for a younger ox to help.
Another jeered. Dama felt as if the earth had swallowed him whole. Without another word, he turned, unhitched Nandi, and walked home in silence. The villagers' laughter still echoed in his ears long after the sun had set. That evening, under the quiet stars, Dama sat beside Nandi in the stable. The lantern cast a soft glow over the wooden walls. He laid his hand gently on Nandi's back and whispered,
Why, old friend, you've never refused me before. Why now, when I needed you the most?
Nandi slowly turned his head. In his deep, gentle eyes was no anger, only sorrow.
You needed me?
The ox spoke softly.
Or did your pride need me?
Dama's heart dropped.
All these years, I pulled your carts because you asked, never demanded. You treated me with respect, as a partner. But today, in front of those men, you turned me into a showpiece. You shouted at me like I was just a thing. You let their mocking turn your heart bitter.
Dama's eyes welled up. He bowed low, resting his head on Nandi's shoulder.
I'm sorry. I forgot who I was and who you are.
The next morning, the village was just beginning to stir. Mist floated over the rice fields, and birds chirped from the treetops. Dama returned to the same market street. Not to boast, not to challenge, but to make peace. Without saying a word, he led Nandi to the same heavy cart, still sitting where it had been left the day before. The merchants noticed him, but before they could speak, he looked at Nandi and asked, gently, sincerely,
My friend, would you help me move this cart?
Nandi blinked once, lowered his head, and stepped forward. With a creak and a groan, the massive cart began to roll, slowly at first, then steadily, stone and all. The merchant stood in stunned silence. Not a word of pride passed Dama's lips. Not a cheer was raised. Only the quiet rumble of wheels against earth and the steady breath of a noble ox. Strength doesn't roar, it doesn't boast. True strength moves quietly, with humility, with respect, and with heart.
Thanks for watching, and subscribe to Glory Tales for more inspiring and magical stories.